Radio Show.
Some idiots speeding down the road, if you can hear it. A lot of idiots driving on the road lately. Yeah, don't understand it. You get a lot of that where we are. A lot of that stuff going on. Yeah, weather's been quite warm today. I managed to mow the lawns as well, so I got some cut the grass too. Got that done. That was great as well. You know, this morning I had a question in mind as to what happened to Sexpo Australia. Sexpo Australia, you know, the adult festival that I've gone to. Apparently the owner or the founder, they went broke or something, Australian Exhibition Group, and they had problems with creditors and that. And plus, when the shadow ban happened with Sexpo Australia on Instagram, they tried to rebrand to Lovex, which is understandable. Now, it quite sucks because I thought it was great. Obviously, I think last year there was supposed to be an event in Melbourne. It actually started in Melbourne, Sexpo, just as a small thing. And it's been going on for what? Over 10 years at least. So that sucks when that happens, guys, honestly, because for me, it just sucks. It really does. That I don't know who's going to take over Sexpo Australia, but yeah. What can I say? Yeah. Anyway, Donald Trump was last week introduced what's called Tariff. For stuff being imported into the United States of America. Now, some experts have said that the tariffs could push the inflation up. Apparently, Trump is looking at a 60% tariff on Chinese imports. But will it lead to a trade war? I don't know. Now, there was talks about these tariffs of imports because he wanted to get things made in America, which, look, I can't understand. I mean, I guess every time you know, this is the economy, by the way. When you get involved in economics and trade deals and all this stuff, because it's being imported, there's always going to be a tax on it. Look, if it's a way to save the American economy, I guess, yeah, it's a possibility. Again, I'm not an economist. However, because of this show, I do my research. Because that's what I've got to do. And so once I've done all that stuff, it's yeah, it's just, yeah. I mean, you gotta understand, when I read an article on UNSW's website, which is left because they like to go on about climate change and stuff like that, about tariffs being imposed, imports. Now, will it save the the American economy, these tariffs? It could help get the American economy back on track as well. Yeah, clearly the whole world has just, I mean, you got to do what you can do for the economy, Okay. Now, what's happened because of illegal immigrants that have crossed the border illegally, who have criminal records and are violent criminals. You know, you can see why he is trying to clean it up, because there is a lot of bad people trying to cross the border. Now, Poland is one of the strict with border crossings. Literally, their government in Poland they've ordered their military, they can shoot people who are trying to cross illegally. Okay. Because what was happening, people were just going, crossing illegally, and they were just getting free healthcare, free welfare benefits, free accommodation, and the people who work here, who work hard, are getting nothing. So I don't understand it at all. I mean, that's what's going on in the US here too. We had problems with the boats. They were called boat people as well. And yet in Australia, Sydney, Australia, we have anti-Semitic attacks going on in the Jewish community. Now, if politicians are using this anti-Semitism to their own political advantage, they should not be doing that just to get votes out of people. I think there was a post on X about Peter Dutton was using it to his advantage. They should not be doing that. Obviously, graffitiing Nazi swastika symbols is, not on. It's very bad. Very bad stuff. Okay. Stalin as well. Joseph Stalin was actually even worse. Obviously communist. It's funny that unless you're a historian, if you do research into Stalin, look, I'm not a historian, but I enjoy history. He was actually, just as bad as Adolf Hitler. So, but when I see anti-Semitism going on here, I'm speechless, guys. How did Australia get to this point? Obviously, did this all start with October 7th with Hamas? Okay, in Palestine. That too could have triggered it. I don't know. Now, but other than that, if politicians can start waking up, and it's good that they're cracking down on hate crimes, because that's important, then I will support that. If the politicians are just using this to their own political advantage for the next federal election just to steal votes out of people, then I'm not in support of that. Australia is a very lucky country where we are. I often do worry about the future of Australia as well. Okay. I'm fed up of all dictatorship and woke culture, left-wing culture out there. being told what you can and can't say. Australia Day as well, because we don't want to offend people. Even sport gets involved in politics. Great Northern apparently has pissed off some customers. If you enjoy a Great Northern beer, which I do, I don't understand why alcohol companies want to get involved in politics. They put it this way: the Great Northern was apparently doing a woke campaign move. It was over national parks or stuff like that. Quote, let's save our state forests, no more national parks. Quote, Daily Telegraph. Quote, in an absolutely disgraceful move, Great Northern Brewing Co. has gone woke with a campaign to help us get locked out of a forest. Quote, Four-Wheel Drive TV posted on Facebook. Quote, yeah, I mean, obviously us Aussie beer drink, or if you like beer or whatever, I don't want to be seeing them getting involved in gender equality. Like Bud Light apparently did something like that, pissed off some customers. Quite like a Bud Light. If you can get your hands on a Bud Light, it's a great beer. It seems like, I'm not a business or marketing person, but if they're using this woke thing to not, I don't know, just to improve their marketability, to me it's a bit sus, like not on. All right. If they're doing it just to try to get more people to buy their product, but I don't know where the world's going, honestly. The world these days, where we are, all right. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I've spoken about puberty blockers as well. The Queensland government's paused access to puberty blockers amid review of Cairns Sexual Health Service. Daily Telegraph. Yeah, I mean, children should never have. I don't know who started this idea to give teenagers puberty blockers, children puberty blockers. Just because a child's brain is not developed, and I don't know why. As a Western world, we got to this nation, to this place where it was like society was just encouraging this stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You got now a new AI, artificial intelligence threat called DeepSeek. China, DeepSeek AI. Again, the problem with these AI companies is they're just out there to steal your data. All right. Same as GPT as well. And they're talking about banning these AI things from government devices, which is understandable because it's all data harvesting. I've told you. DeepSeek should be banned as well from all telecommunications companies, in my opinion, because if it's there to just steal data and spy on people, well, something's ain't right with AI. So there's always a catch with artificial intelligence out there. I guess this is. And is it getting to a point where sooner or later artificial intelligence will start taking out people's jobs? Okay. I'll let you figure that one out for yourselves. Put it in the comments section here on Rumble, and let me know if you think artificial intelligence will take people's jobs in the future. Yeah, it's just getting to that stage where it seems that they're trying to push artificial intelligence. It won't think like a human yet. No, probably never, in my opinion. It's technology. Like I said before, like AI, you can literally get a psychologist that uses AI, artificial intelligence, counseling services using AI, but that's not the best. Peter Dutton apparently is promising 20,000 tax deduction for small business lunches. From the Daily Telegraph. That is, I mean, is it true that a corporation, big mining business, can go and take people out for lunch and get a tax write-off on that? Okay. Or a tax deduction, and then a small business, they can't claim it as a tax deduction. Now, that's not fair. Okay. But the deduction Peter Dutton's introducing, it doesn't cover alcohol. There's apparently what the coalition's saying. I think Peter Dutton did run. He was a business owner apparently. Was he? I could be wrong. It's important to keep our small businesses going. Okay. Well, hopefully if the Liberals do get in re-elected, can they clean the mess up from what Labor's done? All right. Because it's been very hard on people. Okay. Been very difficult on people these last 4 years. All right. But yeah, we've got to just get the economy back on track. All right. Yes, apparently Peter Dutton actually he worked part-time in a butcher shop, and then he actually had a small family business with around, I think it was 40 employees, and then he was a police officer as well. And Peter Dutton worked for National Crime Authority Drug and Sex Offender Squad. So he was focused on protecting women and children. So he's got a lot of experience. So he was John Howard appointed him the assistant treasurer as well. Yeah, so hopefully someone with life experience like that can basically improve the economy as well, and hopefully has some experience out in the economy. To save the Australian economy is very important. All economies need to be saved, okay? Because the economy is a valuable, precious thing that should not be messed with. All right? I mean, speaking of corporations as well, Coles and Woolies are want to scrap penalty rates and make their employees just little slaves to make them money. That's not fair. So how come a corporation wants to do that? I've been telling you guys, I mean, unfortunately, us Australians, we have to rely on Coles and Woolies, and now the Americans got to rely on, I don't know, Walmart or whatever it is. And remember when you had to buy toilet paper, and then people kept stockpiling toilet paper as well, which was, yeah, not good. Yeah, it was just... yeah. Crazy. Very crazy, guys. Okay. It was... one of those issues where I thought Australia was just, I don't know where Australia was going. I was thinking of Australia in cricket. Australia dominated Sri Lanka. This was in Gaul, by the way, and there was a lot of spin bowling going on. Australia, first innings, they declared 6 for 654 in the first innings. And then Sri Lanka ended up batting. They scored 165. I think Australia enforced the follow-on. And then with the follow-on, they bowled Sri Lanka out for 247. So Australia won by an innings and 242 runs. Let's talk about the follow-on, guys. Is forcing a follow-on in cricket good? Or should a team go and bat their second innings and increase the lead and then go and bowl? I guess follow-on will put pressure on the batting team, who are under pressure. Okay. Sri Lanka did well. They hit some good shots as well. They were willing to score runs, but Australia just out-bowled them, out-batted them on that pitch in Gaul. So it's different conditions in Sri Lanka as well. But yeah, it's but it was good to see cricket going again. Steve Smith as well, he achieved 10,000 runs. So that was great to see. And yeah, well done to Steve Smith for achieving the 10,000 runs. That's something to be proud of for the Australian cricket team, is getting to the 10,000 club. It's the 10,000 club. No, well done. Steve Smith, I mean, like I said, I'd like to see Steve Smith bowling more leg spin for the team as well, but it's a great achievement. Okay. Yeah, but when you reach 10,000 test runs, That's fantastic. I've noticed when Steve Smith's under a bit of pressure, because in Sydney he was supposed to get the 10,000 runs in Sydney, but he got out. Well, did pressure or scoreboard pressure get to him at one stage? Because obviously when you're under pressure and you want to get that run or you want to score the century, mistakes do happen. But it was good to see that he just played his natural game and played those shots around the ground. Ended up getting 100 for Australia, and well done. Well batted and well deserved. Definitely he deserved it. You guys, speaking about kangaroos, apparently there was a dead kangaroo found in a water tank. Yeah, it was the carcass of a kangaroo, and apparently, if you can, clean your water tanks out. You never know what you can find, as long as the water's coming out fresh. Yeah, but there was a man recently as well. He was attacked by a kangaroo. It was a private property at Willows in Gemfields. The man was taken to the Emerald Hospital, and then he was flown later to Rockhampton Hospital by the Royal Flying Doctor Service. Yeah, so yeah, we're talking kangaroos at least 2 meters tall. So you've got to be careful. So he basically, quote, he came out of his house, walked around to get into his ute, to drive up to the shop, and there was a buck, male kangaroo, and doe, female kangaroo there. Mr. Underhill told the masthead, quote, the doe took off and the buck bloody attacked him, and really attacked him in a big way, quote. Mr. Underhill said he sent a crew down to assist Queensland ambulance paramedics, and found that the poor man was in a hell of a mess, from the, quote, Daily Telegraph. Yeah. They can be quite dangerous, kangaroos, as well, so you can be careful. Yeah, that's why, yeah, I spoke recently about dingoes, and how dingoes can just, out of the blue, just attack people for no reason. So it's, I guess it's important that we are aware of, I guess these animals can be dangerous. You cannot trust them at all. Okay. You cannot trust certain animals out there. Bathurst 12 hour on the weekend as well went ahead. It was Bathurst 12 hours, quite a lot of controversy. I don't understand, for a 12-hour race, guys, when they start the Bathurst 12 hour, that they want to start racing and they haven't even passed the first chicane yet. And it's like, you got 12 hours for this car race, and a lot of cars do end up not finishing, or problems. Craig Lowndes as well, he was in the Bathurst 12 hour, so that was good to see him. Yeah, it's pretty much 2,000 kilometers they have driven there at Bathurst. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton ended up crashing the Ferrari in pre-season testing as well. So that happened with Lewis Hamilton. He's moved to Ferrari. But yeah, that's be exciting to see how he goes driving in the red this year. And will it suit Lewis Hamilton? Ezra Mann, the 5'8" for Brisbane Broncos, he's he's currently serving a suspension because of the drug driving that happened, and I don't think he's playing in the All-Stars this year. Now, obviously, when Josh Adokar, he was hit with a 4-game ban because of positive to cocaine from the drug test in September, and the Bulldogs, I think they released him now. He's signed to the Eels, Parramatta Eels. Okay. Because Ezra Mann tested positive to the cocaine because of a car crash in Brisbane. This happened in October last year. He's faced court. He faced the court in December. He was hit with an $850 fine, and then the NRL actually fined him $120,000, and the suspension on top of that. So his future's in doubt from this. Obviously, the NRL has policies against this. Okay. So he's going to have to wait until round 10 to play this season. All right. Yeah, so he's been training in the NRL. He's training at Red Hill, but he's not allowed to play in the NRL or any Host Plus Cup. So we'll have to wait and see. We know Latrell Mitchell had issues too with cocaine as well. Yeah. I mean, the NRL have policies against this. I'm just telling you guys from what I read and do my research on. Round 1 of the NRL starts in Las Vegas this year, so it's good to see the games going ahead to Vegas. Okay. Has anyone ever flown in economy? You know how shit that is, sitting in a tight seat. All right, flying economy, 10 hours, very uncomfortable. Can't get a good night's sleep. It's shit. Especially domestic, it's even smaller seat in economy. So how come the airline industry don't care about people's health in economy seating because of blood clots or whatever? I mean, I'm just from experience. I've flown economy to Melbourne. Shit. That was only, 45 minutes on a budget airline. Should economy seating go back to the original days where you had at least a bit more leg room before they got this idea, we got to pack more people onto a plane so the airline can make more money? Yeah, something to think about. Qantas as well. I think people have lost trust in Qantas. Yeah, you look at Virgin Airlines as well. These airline companies honestly just don't care. Actually, apparently economy passengers were using business class bathrooms on the economy. So economy passengers on flights were using the business class bathrooms. Okay. Apparently it's to remove the cabin dividers from the planes. So why is it in the airline industry there's toxic workplace environment going on? Okay. Qantas is apparently going to be wearing new work uniforms in the future. How will that play out? Okay. That to me is, well, Qantas has already got a bad reputation. Yeah, not good. Then you hear about problems with baggage, getting lost as well. Yeah, I'm worried about the traveling and tourism industry now. A woman actually had to pay $380 for an excess luggage fee because she had to get replacement for her items, and basically she was at the airport. All right, she lost a bag, and then yeah, she's never going to fly Qantas again. So basically, quote, 3 hours after Corrine Olsen and her husband Peter's bag failed to appear at Denpasar Airport on July 2nd, staff at the terminal gave them $60, a set of pajamas, and one toothbrush, quote, Daily Telegraph. Yeah. It was apparently a missing surfboard, coffin bag, had toiletry, shoes, and other travel essentials. But why would an airline want to enforce a $380 excess luggage fee, and if they don't pay, you can't get on the plane and come home? This is Qantas, by the way. I mean, a lot of airlines do have added fees because if you go over the luggage limit. But look, I don't like how airlines want to become dictatorship as well. Now, when they were trying to track their luggage, the tracking didn't work. There was no telephone number to call. But apparently, like the week after when they arrived in Bali, 5 days before the departure date, the bag all of a sudden came. Wow. Now, there's nothing worse than when your flights are luggage, not luggage, when your flights are cancelled. It's shit. Because you want to go home, and I can understand people getting stressed. They want to go home. All right. Yeah, this is what can I say? You got council rates now going up 40%. Ratepayers are having to pay extra, and a lot of these councillors at the top of the food chain are multimillionaires. While you pay your hard-earned rate money, 40% rate hike. Yeah, there's a bunch of potholes on the road. And a couple of weeks ago, the garbage people to collect the garbage bins were running late, and I ring up Liverpool Council. I thought, why isn't the red bin collected? Some people are saying to sack them all. People are protesting. This is Northern Beaches Council. 40% rate rise. Okay. Has our government failed small businesses? Has our government failed the Australian people? Did the previous president of the United States of America, Joe Biden, fail the American people? Okay. Now, there was a man actually spray painted on Joe Halen's Marrickville office. Nazi swastikas, anti-Semitic graffiti going on. How the hell did Australia get to this point of going to shit? All right. I have every right to vent about this stuff on the show. Problems with electricity, solar panels, people trying to sell solar panels, ringing people cold calling for solar panels, this clean energy renewals, carbon emissions, banning vaping in New South Wales, because I don't know why. Dictatorship, what you can and can't say, what's going to offend people, what's not going to offend people. All right. Music festivals getting cancelled. Okay. The failed system of aged care. My grandfather ends up getting a caseworker to come to the place once a week just to give a massage for half an hour. But then when these aged care people write up all this paperwork from the government departments, then you start wondering, is this service helping the Australian people? With all this paperwork and all this assessment, is it helping you? This is where I get fed up. Okay. There was a local, there was some problems with Malek Fard Islamic School reveals bid to double student population as part of 123 million multi-story development, Daily Telegraph. Yeah, it's there's been some backlash in the community, apparently about traffic noises, driving down property prices as well, and people can't concentrate in the home as well. It's in Beaumont Hills, and it's possibly going to accommodate like 700 more students. Okay. So one of the colleges that received 37.7 million federal government funding in the financial year, and at least 10.8 million in fees from the students. Okay. So the development plans that they've put in place at Beaumont Hills campus, it's a 3-story prayer hall, classrooms, separated secondary boys and girls teaching facilities as well, new library, meeting rooms for the staff, wellbeing canteen, and a learning centre with the space of up to 40 children. So it's 123 million development for a new site with 147 spaces. Yeah, look, I don't really know too much about building and infrastructure as to what's going on here. But there's been concerns over security. Neighbours have complained that night patrols by guards have been going too close to the homes. Okay. Apparently there was a guard looking into some people's windows with torches. But the school wants to focus on the needs of the learners with the context of the Islamic faith. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I don't know how the expansion is going to work out, or how the proposal is going to work out. But Malek Fard Islamic School, they were contacted, but they didn't respond to the Daily Telegraph for the publication. Okay. Here's something interesting about, is this the Police Commissioner of New South Wales? Karen Webb, yeah, she's the police commissioner for New South Wales. Apparently, the editor of the Daily Telegraph had some evidence going on. They had some information, but they didn't want to compromise investigation, which is understandable. They asked permission to the police commissioner before publishing anything. And then, yeah. You can read more about it on their website. It's quite interesting. These are crime journalists, of course, so they've got to be careful what they write. They've obviously had information, but not been able to publish articles because it can compromise a police investigation. So that's quite interesting to read up about. Australian red meat exports have hit a high record as well. So apparently Australia farmers were celebrating on Australia Day. They're very high if you're involved in the meat or farming industry. Now, painkillers as well, paracetamol, because apparently there's been problems with overdoses with paracetamol. It's Panadol. So basically you're able to get 20 capsules in a packet. Now they've reduced it to 16 tab paracetamol. Yeah, this is what the TGA is trying to regulate as well. Obviously, if you take it as directed by a healthcare professional, it should not be a problem. Here's something interesting that happened. There was a junior doctor. The doctors actually were labelled marshmallows for requesting time off in an accidental email. Now, how does that happen? Yeah, I have no idea how that would happen. Okay. Quote, an email allegedly sent to junior New South Wales doctors from a roster manager accusing them of being, quote, marshmallows for putting quiet lifestyle before career has triggered an apology from health authorities, quote, Daily Telegraph. Yeah, I don't understand how that happened. So apparently it was accidentally sent to junior medical officers, junior doctors that were starting their rotation shifts at the John Hunter Hospital in Newcastle. Yeah, so that's what... but obviously they're taking appropriate action to address it. Well, speaking of healthcare, there was a nurse. I think this was a nurse in America. This was on X. She was doing sexual behavior to people with disabilities. There was a video of her on X inappropriately dancing on patients who were disabled. Now, she got sacked and she's lost her job and she's being prosecuted. Now, how the hell does this happen in healthcare for someone to do that? That's just that's slack. Like, you got to be ashamed of yourself. The watchdog for aged care, they found 26% increases in neglect in the residential homes. Now, there was obviously, if you're going to pick a aged care home or a nursing home, okay, you got to find one with a good reputation, one that is willing to look after people as well. Okay. I mean, every home is going to, people are going to write negative reviews about everything out there. So that's, yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens out there, guys. There's a woman, actually, I spoke about this, about botulism outbreaks. There was a health warning. A health warning has been issued about Safiza binti Zakaria, who was accused of performing at-home cosmetic injections after 3 women were treated for suspected botulism. Please correct me if I've pronounced those wrong. Daily Telegraph. Yeah, this is the problem now. The Healthcare Complaints Commission has cracked down on this. She is a non-registered practitioner giving this stuff now. She was not permitted to perform medical procedures in New South Wales. The Healthcare Complaints Commission has put a public warning out there. She was illegally administering botulinum toxic Botox. So I don't know what substances have gone in this stuff. There was no medical supervision out there. She was advertising cosmetic injections on WhatsApp. So again, that becomes a red flag as well. Okay. Doesn't have the training to be doing this stuff. So there's a risk that these substances she's using, it puts people's lives in danger. Okay. So she was claiming they were botulinum toxin, or I'm not a beautician, I don't know, but yeah, this is not good. This is not good. Yeah, not good at all. It's how can I say it? I don't understand how people can con people as well. It's yeah. Not good. And obviously, if you want to, you can keep up with the HCCC on their website as well if you want to look into what's going on in the healthcare industry, which is very important. It's, yeah. See, a lot of these cosmetic clinics, okay, I mean, you don't know if they're properly trained or not out there, okay. So it's, yeah, and good on people for standing up for their rights and reporting things to the HCCC because people's lives are in danger. Now, I wanted to bring up something that I found out this week about a cult in Queensland. This poor little girl, she died of type 1 diabetes. Elizabeth Struss. The article's available on the Daily Teller. You can watch. It's the Courier Mail, actually. You can check it out on the Courier Mail. On their website, there was a video. Now, she had type 1 diabetes as well. Now, the cult families as well, the people involved in the cult, I think, were charged. There was at least 14 of the members charged for her death because they claimed that we can rely on the word of God and we can use all the prayer in the world to pray for type 1 diabetes to go away. And this literally happened, and she lost her life. I get very upset when people try to use prayer in order to say, well, God or Jesus can heal me because I'm going to put my faith in him and we're not going to take medication. That is criminal, okay? That saddens me because a child has lost her life because of this. And people fall into this trap where they think that prayer is going to solve all the problems. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not. It's good to have faith in what you believe in, but unfortunately, medical evidence is there with type 1 diabetes. You can see how, yeah, it starts to anger me a bit when I hear about this stuff going on, because I don't know. Now, RSV vaccines, guys, apparently they're available for adults, but is it true people can't afford to have RSV vaccines? Now, obviously, vaccines in Australia, okay, at a very good price. All right. But yeah, it's important to keep up to date with your vaccines and because that's important. All right. You've got queues at the moment going on at Centrelink. People are having to wait a long time for their claims on disability pensions or whatever payment system they need. People have waited at least an average of 93 days for their claims to be resolved, from 46 days from the previous 12-month period. Okay. It was a woman, Karen Sampson, 57 years old, has fibromyalgia, and she set up a Facebook group called Disability Support Pension Advocacy Australia, quote, Daily Telegraph. Yeah. So obviously the times to wait is long. To appeal and wait for an appeal of a rejection, all right? And it can take up to another year just to get an outcome. New South Wales, Blacktown residents submitted the most claims out there as well. So that's what's going on. Yeah, as I did some research this week into Housing Commission. Apparently, they don't have air conditioning now. As I've told you guys about the summer heat in Australia, all these Housing Commission flats get very, very cold. And then you got people literally dealing drugs and trashing the place. We're talking those high-rise apartments. Some people need it because they have medical conditions and they can't work. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Yeah, if you guys remember Steve Irwin, there was some lost footage that was recently uncovered this week. You can definitely check it out as well. When Steve Irwin died, it sucks. I can remember as a kid watching Steve Irwin on television. It was actually good to see him out there. Yeah, Steve Irwin was like a rock star. I remember him. It was great to see his television shows as well. And so that's what's happened. The problem with Russia and Ukraine. Anthony Albanese wants more proof that Oscar Jenkins is alive. As far as we know, he was captured by Russian military, and because of the whole war situation going on there, they're concerned about the welfare of him. But recently, I think they put up a video of him on Telegram as well. So hopefully the Australian government can sort this out and offer assistance as much as they can. So that is, yeah. All right. Penny Wong was working to organise independent verification for Oscar Jenkins' welfare. Okay. Through the International Committee Red Cross. So gets a mess when it happens when Australian citizens get in trouble overseas, and then how much can the government help them? See, under international humanitarian law, Oscar Jenkins is supposed to be provided with certain protections and certain rights as well. So the government's apparently working with Ukraine to check on his welfare as well. But the Russian Federation didn't want to confirm his status for at least a month. See, Russia, they're known for maltreating, killing prisoners of war, and not abiding by the Geneva Convention. The Geneva Convention means nothing over there. You read Smart Traveller's website and it's the problems that's going on in Russia at the moment. So it's so he was being interrogated, hit. When he was captured. Okay. And this is what's happened. Out there. Yeah, not good. Not a good situation at all to have for any Australians to be in not a good place. As you know, there's when you have governments telling us, oh, that we've got to switch off the gas ovens, or we've got to invest in solar panels and carbon emissions, I get very worried about that. And then having blackouts in the middle of summer. Electricity prices going up. Yeah, it's getting to the point where I'm getting fed up with it. All right. I'm sick of it. You got, if you can remember, Rivers, the retail store, is closing down. That's what's going on. So, yeah, long time they've been in business, and they just started out as just a clothes store. And Mick Jagger actually liked Rivers shoes when he was touring Australia. Okay. Yeah, so it sucks when they for anyone who have to rely on them for a job, and they'll be not there anymore, and that sucks. It really does. Okay. Now, there was an incident in the music industry. Patti Smith apologized to the crowd. She collapsed on stage, and she was in a wheelchair as well. This happened in the music industry. Yeah, she was performing in Sao Paulo. Yeah, that's what happened. So hopefully she's all right. And things do happen on stage. And yeah. The Fire Aid benefiting concert in Los Angeles as well has been quite a good show. Dave Grohl, he actually didn't he reunite with Nirvana? He's reunited with Nirvana in half a decade. Wow. So he basically reunited with Nirvana for a special performance. That's amazing. That is amazing. You guys should go and listen or read Dave Grohl's autobiography. It's very interesting. Or you can get inspired about the music industry as well. Definitely check it out. Because, yeah, it's always good to listen to autobiographies out there. Deborah Conway, apparently she's been cancelled because she's spoken out about some things politically. So basically, yeah, cancel culture does go back quite a long way in the music business. Another music festival got cancelled too, guys, again. Groovin' the Moo, they announced the festival's not going ahead. Last year got cancelled as well. Insufficient ticket sales, quote, and it's not going to be happening again. Splendor in the Grass was cancelled. I don't know what's happened to Sexpo. Hopefully they get a rebrand to it as well. Marianne Faithfull, she died at the age of 78 years old. Yeah, she's had battled substance abuse, drug addiction as well in the business of music. She got discovered by Andrew Loog Oldham, and she got famous in 1964. Yeah, wow. Basically, with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, wrote a hit song as Tears Go By. Yeah. But I think Mick Jagger's posted some photos on Instagram. One from 1967 when they were dating. So another loss in the music industry. So Marianne Faithfull, she was born on the 29th of December 1946 in Hampstead in an aristocrat family. Okay. Mother was an Austro-Hungarian baroness, father an erudite British spy. So she was making appearances in the folk scene of music as well. Yeah, and that's what's going on in the music industry. Here's the thing, like, you got music festivals out there organizing pill testing and stuff like this. Is this a good move that the government's enforced into music festivals with pill testing? Okay. That's, yeah. That's an interesting one. Lady Gaga, I think she's writing a new album as well. So it'd be good for Lady Gaga. She's been focusing more on the film in the last few years. So took a hiatus. Now she's back writing again. Now, Bruce Howie has been remembered for, quote, crucial role he played in guiding the careers of legendary Australian rockers Bon Scott and Jimmy Barnes. So he's passed away, quote, Daily Telegraph. So he was the original bassist in Jimmy Barnes. Was it Jimmy Barnes' first band, Fraternity? Yeah, wow. So he guided some of the best musicians out there, Bon Scott, Jimmy Barnes, and multiple artists too. Wow. Music industry was a different world 50 years ago. It wasn't like what it is today. It's changed so much. It really has changed a lot. Yeah. I mean, what's next for our industry? How can our music industry get more better? How can music artists get more revenue for the time that they put into their work? Okay. Times are tough in the Penrith area. Hospitality as well has been affected, obviously. Western Sydney Airport being open, but problem is with coffee shops, businesses closing, overhead costs keep rising, cost of coffee beans too. I do worry about the hospitality industry. Is it going to survive out there the way it is now? Okay. There was some defects at Hinkler Avenue and Carrying Bar with development in one of the apartments. So I don't get it how defects do happen. Yeah. Probably dodgy builders and dodgy developers. Yeah, here's something. I decided to get a 3-month subscription to Bumble, guys. I thought I'll give Dayton a try on it. I'll see how I go, and yeah, I'll keep you updated with what's going on too, as well, because that's what it is. I don't know why, so I'll see what's going to happen. Recently, there was life discovered on some asteroid. NASA scientists as well. It's quite interesting what you find on asteroids. And what certain moon rocks are. It's quite fascinating too. Michael Clark as well, from who captained the Australian cricket team. I think he went into the Hall of Fame. He's taking a shift in his career. He's got a podcast and business commentating commitments to. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. What career shift that he has. So he took over the captain from Ricky Ponting in 2011, and he retired in 2015. Obviously, as the captain of the Australian cricket team, there's a lot of responsibilities with media and stuff like that to be dealt with. But I thought tonight I would leave it there. Okay. I feel that I've covered everything that I need to cover this week. Don't forget, guys, you can listen to the live audio here on Rumble before the podcast is available on Spotify or wherever you want to get your podcasts. Please subscribe as well. Turn on your notifications. I publish new podcast every Friday at 6 p.m. Sydney, Australia time. Have a good night, and bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the podcast today. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I'm going to play you a song that I wrote called Apocalypse. Hope you enjoy it, and leave comments in the comments section of your feedback of the track.